What is going on, guys? Welcome back to our second official video. As you saw and as you see now, the Weight of the Glory is the channel name we have decided on. I think it just fits well just for what it really means to be a Christian, just in general, because if we're honest, or if we're being honest with ourselves, it is a lot of weight to have to always try to uphold what he has set for us to be. And even though we fall, he gives us the grace to be forgiven, but it still is a lot of weight that we have to carry. And then as well with us also just being wanting this to also kind of relate to fitness, I think they kind of work well together.
Gotta push that weight.
So once again, we have myself, Trey Phillips, Brady Johnson, and Hudson, my son.
Yeah.
We did talk about you last week.
That is true.
We did talk about
you would know if you actually cared about God.
Oh,
Yeah, you would know if you watched the whole hour of the
whole
video.
hour video. Yeah. You're right.
I was talking to Sandrin, and he kind of pointed out, like, we kind of did just hop straight into it. We didn't really introduce ourselves a lot.
That is true.
So they know us a little bit more. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves to the people? You don't have to give a whole testimony. Just let them know who you are and what you stand for. I need an hour-long testimony of each of you.
We'll let the newbie go first.
Fresh meat.
Why would you
Fresh
let the newbie
meat
go first?
Just tell us about yourself and let us know what's going on in your life currently.
Oh no.
As Trey already said, I'm Hudson. I'm a 3-sport athlete, and and there isn't really much going on in my life. School's hard as always, but the only way I can really get through it is through God.
That's a good answer. I appreciate that.
He totally wasn't saying you're being a crybaby.
No.
Alright, so Brady Johnson, that is me. Currently just dealing with the struggles of getting adapted to college, like most people right now, except for Trey, because he's a bozo and didn't want to continue his education.
Bars.
But yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much going on in my life.
I'm about to show these fools up. My name's Trey Phillips. I'm 18 years old. Like they were saying, or like Brady was saying, I'm not in college anymore, so I graduated high school, and I realized that the path I want to go on and don't need a college degree. So my goal and what I feel like God's been calling me to do is not just like being a personal trainer, which I'm going to start in the next few weeks, my license to get, which is just an online course. And then also I feel like he's been calling me to do ministry. And it's actually crazy because I don't know if I was talking to Sandrin about it, the guy who was on it last week, or if I was talking to Jersey, but I was talking to someone at work.
You might have mentioned it to me too.
But I feel like I'm starting to feel like maybe the call, because I think I was watching your podcast about it, that everyone they'll either say, like, they always think that their call is ministry, which means they quit all their other jobs and just rely full time on trying to be like a pastor or something, which, there are people that God really does call to be that person, but sometimes ministry could just simply be going out and talking about God. And I was starting to think more on that, and it's like maybe the ministry part isn't being a pastor, but maybe this is my form of ministry he's calling me to be. And if it is, I'll roll with it 110%. But as far as what's going on in my life right now, I'm working to try to save money so that way I can be able to provide not just for myself but for others. I'm working a construction job and then also at Lowe's, so that way I can afford it. But I'm gonna leave Lowe's here soon once I get my pay for my course to start, so that way I can fully just focus on getting my license.
And then I hope that they don't hear about this.
What? Oh, that I don't care. I'm quitting. No.
Quitting in fashion.
I know, but
YouTube podcast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, at least for a little bit, rely on just the construction, because I'm not doing that. I purely work at Lowe's just for the paycheck, but the construction, it's nice to get paid there, but it's also teaching me like something as simple as discipline, which I had, but now like seeing it, I needed a lot more than what I thought I was able to bring to the table. And then as simple as like skills that will be helpful when I have my own place. like my own home to call my own, like to be able to fix things on my own without having to pay a whole bunch of money will be nice.
So why do you think it's bringing you discipline by working at the construction business? Is it because of like you get to choose your own hours, so like you're choosing that discipline of it, or is it something else?
I definitely would say that does play a part. Just the fact that I get to choose my own hours, so I could show up one day a week for an hour, and that would work. But it's the fact that I had to make a choice at how long I want to work and what time I want to and how many days. But also, I mean, construction sucks. It's not fun to do.
It's physically taxing.
Yeah, and like right now, currently, I've been just like mostly doing concrete work where I'm grinding concrete, which sucks for my back. And like it's just sweaty and like labor's work all 8 hours. And so like that's not something like I get up and like jolly good show. I can't wait to grind some more concrete today.
What? No way.
I know it's crazy,
I would
but
never believe that.
it's just like I know I have to get it done, but I know doing it. It's the same with like working out, like we were talking about last time. Some days I don't want to get up and like have to go work out, but I know that's the days, like I think Sandra was saying it, that's the days we need it the most, is the days that we don't want to get up, because everyone can do something even if it's hard work when they want to do it and like they are excited for it, but when you don't want to do it, that kind of shows not just to other people but to yourself, like I'm disciplined. I don't need to rely on motivation. I have discipline to carry it,
For sure.
which is very important to have, especially not just in your faith but also your daily life and even something as simple as working out. So yeah.
So to kind of segue into a little bit of the topic, do you think that a lot of that brings you stress, either physically or mentally?
Um, I'm well, personally, I'm not like I was just telling you guys before we started this. I at least in this last year, 2023, like I've really not had much of any emotion besides positive. Just and it's like beforehand, I can't really remember that well, but I know I was experiencing like all the emotions and less so of the happy and like positiveness, just
Mm-hmm.
because the world sucks. But like now, like once I really stepped into the faith, like you don't gain anything by being negative and sad and always just looking at the negatives in life. So I think like yeah, especially this year, like even after I broke up with my or like me and my last relationship were separated, like normally that's something people are just gonna be down on themselves for, but like I was able to just find positives in that and then continuously find positives, and it's been throughout that way until like even now, like I feel like most of the time I'm just 98% positive. Like it just I feel better, and like God, it's made everything, like everything is so beautiful to take it. Like there's too many beautiful things in this world to sit there and find negatives and nitpick, and that's my opinion. So
For
like
sure, and I think that I think that's beautiful, man. Like I think one of the biggest things is that trip that you were talking about, which Hudson doesn't know about because he didn't finish the video.
gosh, you're going to hell.
What a bozo. But no, I feel like doing that, like making sure everyone's really positive and making sure that that stress is gone. I feel like that already for you is something that you strive for. So I think that I don't know that it would just be more beneficial,
Hmm.
especially for anyone that goes, because seeing one person like that in such a like beautiful time and in a separated place,
Hmm.
it thrives.
I agree. And I mean, to really answer it, it is it's not so much stressful getting up and doing that. It's just more taxing. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's another weight to add to be like another weight to try to hold up his glory. Like it's ironic, but like it's another kind of like blow at me to try to. It's another excuse to be negative and find negatives, but I also like I said last week I like the competition and so and the competitiveness in all aspects of life, so I don't mind it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But to ask you guys a question, so everyone goes through stress besides me because I'm perfect, and I mean, look at me.
Pat yourself on the back while you're at it. Toot your own horn.
I
Toot
need
toot.
I need a cookie as well while I'm at it. A few stars, but um, not
Need
so
5
much of
stars on Yelp.
yeah. I need 6 because I'm different, but not to like. I mean, if you want to talk about it, but like not so much to go into depth of what has been stressing you guys out. How do you guys go about handling when you're in there's like this is a two-part question. One, when it's something that's not super stressful, like so it's something that would bring stress to you, but it's not like anything super crazy. And then also to answer it, the second part is how to handle it. How do you guys handle it when it's something that you can't just like it's a more intense stress level, like a reason to be more stressed out. How do you guys go about um, solving that or resolving it or just going about your day when you're feeling those emotions?
So I actually have quite a few answers on this because for college we had to take a personality and conflict management style test. So what I
Did you
found,
fail?
huh?
Did you fail?
There's no failing it.
I bet you
Uh,
found a way to fail.
But I found out that my conflict management style is that I'm dominating and integrating. So I like my ideas heard. I like to mainly have those like out on the table, but integrating is you're able to take in a lot of other people's opinions and make it into one. So I think one of the ways that I deal with stress is like pushing my my thoughts or my views more, or being able to be like, hey, we think this and we also think this isn't alike. Like I think just being able to accommodate a little bit, and I think that's how I deal with a lot of stress. But I also found out that I'm not very open at all.
Mm,
So it's kind of conflicting.
yeah.
And I think that comes from a lot of the times me also just. So if it's something small, like what I first said, that would be probably the way. If it's something big, though, I don't trust a lot of people. I have a hard time
To be
trusting, which I
vulnerable.
feel like
mhm.
is pretty common with men
Mm.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Because it's turned against us very quickly.
Yeah, most of the
And
time
we're
it's like
hold to a standard of not being vulnerable almost.
not being vulnerable, not having feelings.
Mm.
So I think with that, I shut down. What are you laughing
Who's
about?
this Giga Chat over here?
You laughing because you relate to this, or you
He's
laughing
Giga
because
Chat.
you have a different view?
Oh no, it's so true. It makes me laugh every time.
It is funny
So
though.
someone brings something up like that men don't have feelings and men just don't care. It's it's funny.
Because it's just,
I
it's
find
sad. It is sad.
yeah,
Dude, it's
it's
so
sad.
depressing.
And the way I feel I deal with stress is just by laughing it off, making jokes about it, and
Yeah,
just
that's
not
how
I
worrying
men
handle,
about
do
it.
it.
yeah,
Just not worrying about
I
it.
I do that sometimes too.
Push it aside. Don't care about it. That's what it
But
is.
So
most of
yeah,
the time we just lock it up and push it away,
Yep.
and
yeah.
we just kind of shut ourselves off for a little bit and
I
find our
mean,
escape, whether that's just going and sitting by ourselves for a little bit, music or video games. Like that's how a lot of people do it now.
yeah. I mean, I relate. Yeah, like you say, Hudson. I really relate to that. Like I didn't realize how much I relate to it until I met Jersey and like how she brought up, because like I told you guys earlier, she's more of an emotional,
Yeah.
like reactor more so than I am a logical thing. And like I try to tell anyone who's really going through something like, and they always ask me like why I don't ever seem like I always seem happy or like I don't care about negative things, and it's not so much that I don't care, or I guess hold on,
It's the
it's
fact that you care, but you're just trying to think of it realistically.
yeah, when it's like a big issue, but like most of the things that like the reason I'm able to be positive even when there's like small things that are constantly like weighing on me, that where I have excuses to be negative. One, you don't get anywhere by being negative and like letting it like affect you, but two, like I don't care enough to give it any extra thought. And so like yeah, like you said, you laugh it off, and like I joke it off because like I don't care enough to be like if someone does me dirty or if someone does something that makes me angry, I don't care. I'm like, first of
Dangry.
all, I know, what are you doing?
That was the shoe, I swear.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Yeah,
I
get this
bet-
guy cancel
Dude,
culture.
every time that happens too, it's like someone makes a fart noise and then you try to prove it.
And
It
then
doesn't
never
work.
you
works,
can't
bro.
recreate
I
it.
would say that too.
You can't replicate it.
Yeah,
That's so sad.
but I don't even know what I was saying. Something.
You laughing off your stress.
Laughing it off,
Oh,
joking it off.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I just like
I know.
farted
Dang it.
and
You're going
ruined
to
the whole
hell.
thought process.
You're going to hell. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just Like I don't care enough to let the negative things, and like I mean, there's like I said at the beginning, God just has too many beautiful things for me to, too many great things for me to sit there and care like about the bad things. Yes, there that doesn't mean I
Yeah.
ignore them, but it just means if I let them sit on my mind, I'm being affected negatively from them when there's no reason to. Like that's just how I see it. And when there's bigger issues, yeah, I will start to feel like stressed out and like it's really bad because I didn't realize I had this issue because I don't really ever go through negative emotions, especially like not jealous, stress and like anxiety. But like
Except
I've
for this
noticed,
morning.
yeah, and yeah, recently I've noticed like I've started like because I always have like longer ish nails, which right now they're covered in paint, but like
You bite them.
I know I don't bite them when I'm stressed. I used to, but like now I've started using my thumb and just like I don't really know how to explain it, but I just
Rubbing it against.
like
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
do
do it to like
this.
cut myself, but like I like it kind of almost soothes me, and I don't like it doesn't hurt, so it's not like I'm into pain or like that pain soothes me, but it's like I have a I'm not really bad with it, but I have some sort of ADHD, and so when I need to somewhat be serious and I can't distract myself other ways, I notice that I start to like fidget, and that's the way I fidget. So
Yeah,
that's how I handle it,
see.
and
I do that same thing. I do this.
you
I
just
like rub this nail against the skin,
and I don't
and it
like
doesn't hurt, like you
Yeah.
said. It's like
it just
it's
is
just
moving. It's something to kind of help
it's a
me.
bit of relief.
Yeah, like a release of like, cause I like I said, I have a little bit of ADHD, so I kind of have to move. Like even if it's a little bit, I've never been a person who like taps my leg a lot, but
Oh,
like
I
I
do.
know a lot of people do that, and I just like I don't, it doesn't happen to me, but like I used to bite my nails a lot whenever I was like feeling negatively, or yeah, but like to handle a bigger issue, like I most of the time if it's a smaller thing, like you said, I'll just kind of laugh it off
Yeah.
and just kind of push it aside because it doesn't really matter. And like by the end of the not just the day, but like when we 20 years later when we die or whatever, those small things are not gonna matter to me. So why would I let them affect
You're
me
dying
now?
at the age of 40?
I said or when I die, not. I
Said
mean it
20
could.
years or
20
something.
years.
Okay, maybe I die by 10 tomorrow. I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would
that's how it was
swag
Never
cash
know.
money.
yesterday or the other day. I woke up not feeling good, like I was saying, and I had to go to work, and people were like, dude, you look bad. And I was like, well, I mean, God woke me up. He woke me up a little bit rougher than normal.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's fine. Yeah,
that's all right.
you're still alive though.
I am
Some people
alive.
aren't able,
True.
and like you got to get to work. Like there's too many. Like we take a lot of things for granted, but like you get to go to work. You get to come home to a home with the roof
Yeah.
over your head and heat and AC and a bed and like a room. Like we have too many things. If like we were some poor like third world country like I don't even know what they're called, village where
Yeah.
you're walking everywhere, where you
Yeah.
are like struggling to survive every day, then like I feel like I can't say for sure because I've never been in that situation.
I
Like
mean,
they
I
have
can
more of a
speak on it a little
reason.
bit.
They have more of a reason to like be a little to let these negative emotions, but with how like even the poorest of the people here have it so much better than people in these third world countries in these villages. So like I can't sit there knowing I drove a car to work and then get to come back home to people who actually care about me. Like I can't sit there
Yeah.
and be like, well, I don't have this $3 million mansion and I don't have a Lamborghini when I'm 18. Like I don't have all these cool things, so I'm not gifted. God doesn't care about me. Like I have so many blessings that I just can't let stress and all that stuff try
Yeah.
to take over all the blessings.
So I can speak on that a little bit because I don't know if I told you this, but I have a cousin. I have a cousin actually in Fiji right now.
You live in a third world country?
No, he's currently living in a third world country
Oh.
for 2 years.
Really.
So he's doing Peace Corps out in Fiji, and I actually got to call him one night, and dude, I was up till like 5 a.m. I watched the sunrise just because I was talking to him. But we got to get like the village nurse.
I was
Yeah.
just waiting to see if he could react. I wanted to see if he was looking at me, so I gave him a side eye, and I
And
never.
he was looking at you.
Not instantly, but it was funny.
I was so confused because I'm just like looking down.
Don't worry.
We're laughing at you.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No.
But
Funny story.
Yeah.
I got to.
L.
Ouch. Y'all.
L ratio. Just don't live in a third world country. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's bad. I apologize.
But we got to get the village nurse on the phone, and I talked to her, and it's so bad out there that it had me rethinking, like, dude, I am so fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the entire time, all I could think for like 4 hours was, I am so fortunate for what I have, because the lady there said she had like 2 or 3 kids, and she told her daughter that is going to college right now to leave and not come back because there's nothing for her in the village other than family. She said, go study your education and get out of here. Like, that is so hard to say to your own child.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's so terrible. That shows you how they live.
Yeah,
like,
how
I've seen
bad
where
it
my
is.
cousin is staying, and it's all of his clothes have to be put inside of a crate because if not, rats and stuff will get into it, and bugs will get into it.
Sure.
It's so sad.
It's crazy.
It's, I don't know, man. It just makes me rethink everything. Did you find what you're looking for?
I know the first one I was looking for. I can't remember the page of the second one.
Matthew 6:34, Matthew 26:36.
That's
and
what
Luke
I couldn't think of the verse.
22:39.
36. Yeah. Okay. And so, like, to answer that, not to answer what you were just saying, but what the question I'd asked earlier, like, even like, cause the thing is, I feel like us three all know this, but some people really don't really grasp the idea that Jesus himself, like, they even talked about it today at the sermon, like, he's gone through everything we've gone through, but all at the same time, like, God put every sin that man will ever make onto him while he was also going through being put on the cross. And so, like, and even before then, he, like, it says in Matthew 26, 36, like, Jesus, like, this was when he, what was it? Okay, so this is, I think, a little bit before this is the few days before he knows he's gonna get, like, arrested, or, like, this might be the day before, but, like, he went with all his disciples and they went to that mountain, and, like, he told them to wait, and he went to his own safe space, like, out by himself in the garden, and he started praying to God because, I mean, it's crazy to wrap your mind around it, but Jesus was stressed out, like, he was scared, and, like, because he realized
Dude was like, I'm about to die.
I'm about to take all this weight, and, like, he was stressed, so he went and found his own safe space.
He was about to take the weight of our glory.
That is, look at this guy. Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? My bad.
No, but, like, he was stressed, and, like, the fact that he himself felt this makes me feel like it's okay to let that happen, like, to know that it will happen at some point if Jesus himself felt stressed, but, like, how he handled it, he went to a safe space where he, like, he was able to feel vulnerable next to, like, with God. And not only should we feel vulnerable with God, like, that's 100%. You shouldn't ever feel like you have to hide anything, because, I mean, regardless if you do, he still knows. But, like, you should have people you can feel safe, where you can go to a safe spot, whether it's by yourself or with people, and be vulnerable, and, like, tell people that, like, express that you're stressed, and know that they'll accept you for it and understand where you're coming from. And so that's just really cool to me. It's like, it kind of reassures me to, like, know how to handle it, like,
For sure.
go to a safe space and
So,
stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and read this because we talked about it today at the sermon. But Greg here said that nobody will ever understand the faith unless they understand this one verse. So I don't know why. I just feel like reading it, but it's one of the most common verses, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And then to follow that up, John 3:17. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. So, I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't even know. Just felt like reading that.
It's the Holy
Feel like if you don't understand that,
He's
then you're never going to understand your faith. And that's the first stepping stone.
That was the Holy Spirit. That's why you felt the need to say that.
Hopefully someone needed
Oh,
to hear it.
someone definitely did. I have no doubt about that. It's
I
hard.
feel like someone definitely needed it out of the 3 services today. But
No, for sure.
I'm saying even in this podcast, that's why you felt
no.
like you needed to talk about it. It is boggling, and like I don't know who I was talking about. Like just to go off what I said earlier, Jesus cried, like he wept, and like this goes back more so to the thing about us men not being able to, like, even though
Show emotion.
people say men should be able to show their emotions, when it comes down to it, they don't really want a man who like shares their emotions. There is some people, so I can't generalize and say all people don't want a man who's vulnerable, but like even it doesn't matter. Like you shouldn't be concerned about being vulnerable in the sense of like you should find someone, whether it's a romantic partner or people, that you know if you sit down as a man and cry, like you're not gonna be like called a wuss or like they're gonna hold it against you. Like it's okay to feel these negative emotions because Jesus himself cried. He was not only was he a man, he's God himself and he cried. So like,
which I think is why a lot of guys feel more comfortable sharing their emotions with other men, especially that are around their age, because let's be honest, we know most of each other, and we know that most of us are probably going through the same thing, but we all know the common thing that is portrayed by this world is that men should not show emotion.
Yeah.
And so I think it just brings comfort when it's like I'm about to show emotion with other guys and I feel like I'm going to be embraced. So I think that's one of the biggest things is like we feel more comfortable showing it with men, and that's it. And it's really sad that the people that are said we shouldn't show emotion to are the same people that we show our emotion to.
Yeah. For sure.
That's rough.
That
you know
is
how
rough.
backwards that sounds?
Yeah.
It does. Upside down. Kingdom. Oh. Reference to heaven. You wouldn't get it because you guys don't believe in God. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
Man, that's crazy.
And then like I can read the scripture, but like just I didn't realize how much it relates to how we handle it until just now. Like even when I read it the first time, I just kind of knew. I knew the verse, but like I didn't realize how much it relates to at least. And you said you do it somewhat, but like how Hudson and I handle stress, like in Matthew 6:34, Jesus himself is telling you to not worry about tomorrow, that it has enough struggles or enough worries.
Enough. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
enough worries.
Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself.
Yeah.
Each day has enough trouble of its own. And like the way I pick up on it, and I want to hear your guys's, like, even if it's the same way I see it, but like I want to hear your guys' perspectives. The way I see it is just like I said, there's too much going on in the day to day that try to tackle you and funny how to tackle stress, huh? Dab. Like that try to really knock you down and just make you blind to all the blessings you have. To sit there and also be like, well, also tomorrow or also next week or next year, I have this that I have to have done, and because of expectations or whatever the reason that you worry about a future issue. Like if you the reason at least for me, that I can be so positive all the time is because I don't try to overthink what's to come, because at the end of the day, no matter how much I plan for something like my life to be, God's in control, and it's not gonna go exactly how I want to, because God cares more about what I need to have happened than what I want to happen. So like I don't worry, oh, if I'm not having my own home and family by 20, I'm a failure, or like whatever the issue is. Like I worry about, or I don't even worry, like I just tackle the day by day, and that's what allows me to handle the stress.
So what you're saying is you live in the present, not the future or the past.
Oh yeah.
And like especially not the past, because like you can't change what's already happened. Like if it's happened and it's over. It's over. Like
and you can try to influence your future, but
it's not gonna.
It's not gonna change.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll change, but you don't know if it'll change for better or worse.
Yeah, and like you said, God has. Say it again. I want you.
God has stuff set out for you.
Yeah.
You can't change what he already has planned for you.
Bars.
I'm not gonna lie, you might have to speak up.
Speak up.
Maybe. Or scoot closer. I don't
Let's go
know.
closer.
Yeah, be a good little kitty.
What?
I just hold the mic then.
But yeah, it's yeah, like I said, it's just there's so much, like, if you're worried about all these things that are happening today and then what's to come, you are like, unless you're God yourself himself, you are not, you're gonna miss all the blessings you have in the day to day. And like,
Oh, yeah.
and I know, like I said, I don't really think about the past, but like, if you're so focused on the future, you can't also really recognize, because a lot of people recognize the blessings and like knowing that Jesus was there the whole time, like in the past, when they're only focused on the future, in the sense of
Yeah.
like, so I'm trying to think of a scenario for me, I guess. For, yeah, the main thing that pops up that I like to actually share about, because that's the really only major thing that I can think of, was like when me and my last relationship we ended. I handled it, I guess, most better than most people do, but like even during the situation, like the second, a few minutes or hours after like we had separated, I wasn't, like I said, I was upset because, like, I mean, a human, but like I was more, like, I was honestly happy and just thinking about why, like, I was in that situation, like in that relationship, and it was purely the blessing behind that relationship, regardless of how hurt I felt after I'd lost that relationship, was I got brought back into God. Like, God re-entered my life through that relationship.
Yeah.
And so that was, and if I sat there and was like, well, who's the next girl that I'm gonna find and be my wife, or why is this happening to me? If I was worried about what's to come or why it was a negative thing, I would have missed the blessing of the fact
Yeah.
that I came home to God because of this relationship. And so
I
yeah.
agree with like not sticking in the past, but I think sometimes it's also good to think about the past, because like you can't
Really?
change it.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like sometimes I find the biggest blessings from God when I think back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just some reflecting. I mean,
Yeah.
reflecting, I will preach it all day long. Reflecting is some of the best things that you can do.
Reflecting, deflecting, connecting, suspecting. I've been rapping. I don't know why. I feel like I suck at rapping, but like every time someone says a word, even especially at work, I'll just start like what you just heard. A little sneak peek. I'm the next Lil Pump. But like I'll just
Nice.
I think it's hilarious because I'm so bad at it. Like he's pretty,
King
compared
is
to
pretty
me, he's
decent.
good at rapping. And so like when you said that, I just think it's hilarious to try to rap.
Dude, you'll never
It's so
believe
bad.
what my girlfriend told me the other day.
Said I was a good rapper.
No, definitely not.
Shoot.
She, do you remember Mr. Fakhruddin?
Oh yeah.
The Indian guy that said
Yeah.
he was gonna come back and have a verse ready for us. He was at the school the other day, and I was like, dude, I might just have to pull up and be like, you got your verse?
You promised me you had a verse. You're going to hell if you lie to me.
You said 2 years ago that you were gonna have a verse ready.
Do you
for
have
me.
a verse? It better be heat. I'm expecting
have
you
it
to be
ready. We about to get King, Trey, Jacob Bertram, and I in the back corner. We gonna drop a beat. And
instead
you
of
gotta go.
Eminem, he's Hinduim. That's racist.
Is he Hinduan? I thought
I
he was
don't
just
know. I
Indian.
know. I was making a racist joke. I'm sorry.
Wow, on a Christian podcast.
Listen, I don't care. I don't care anymore. No. It is
You
crazy.
gave up that quickly on our dreams?
I know. You know
That's
what?
very sad.
I'm burning everything to the ground. No, there
Well,
was.
I bought all this.
Yeah, everything is going
Actually,
down. That pizza.
that one I didn't buy.
Yeah.
You quote unquote bought it.
Yeah. You like that, don't you? That I bought that. Yeah, buddy.
Maybe you should eat some food. Maybe you're loopy.
No, I'm freaking. Yeah, I'm fasting again, but I can't see. Is it still red?
Huh?
Like recording?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still recording.
I
Don't worry
can't
about
see it though.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it?
I can't see it from here. I mean, I can go check.
No, he can see it though.
Can he?
Yeah.
I think he's blind.
As long as you can't see a big red circle.
I'm kind of half blind, so.
I can see the square. I see.
You see the square?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was a square. I might be tripping though.
It's a square.
Okay.
Circles
and squares are similar.
Get some glasses, man.
Yeah, maybe you need to eat some pizza. You're a little loopy.
He
already had 3 pizzas.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Hey, you call me fat?
No, I'm saying you already ate.
So.
I'm not calling you fat.
Yeah, fatty. You should kill yourself.
Hey, not on the podcast.
Yeah, for real.
You should
Be
think
nice.
about not being around you.
You should reconsider being in this
The
room.
life, yeah.
Yeah.
No. So, another thing about myself I forgot to mention. I love anime. Anime is cool. That's also, it's funny because a lot of people think it's really weird when I tell them why I think I've just really fell in love with God so much. But like, I really like anime, and so like in anime, they're not normal like day to day humans like we
Yeah.
see. Like it's not normal. It's almost like a superhero, but they're not superheroes. Like they just have powers, and they're like way cooler than what I could ever be, no matter how hard
I'm a
I want to.
superhero.
Yeah, Brady is a super Brady.
Hey,
Brady
hey.
Johnson. He's actually super bad. No, but like, cause like the most powerful anime characters you ever see in those animes, the fact that I know they're fake and I'll never be like that, but to know that God is like that, but a infinity times stronger and better and
Yeah.
just cooler than what I think is already awesome, it just makes it so much easier to
Oh,
fall
yeah.
in love with him because he's real and he can do all these things
Yeah.
with a flick of the wrist.
You gotta look at everything.
That's what I started thinking. Cooking in the pot. Cooking in the crock pot. That's the best.
Look at it, dump in the crock pot.
No more words. But yeah, that's also why. And so they relates. And so yeah, anime is just God is the coolest real, I guess, anime to me.
You gotta make sure that you get the right anime though, because there's some weird stuff out there, man.
Alright, we're not talking about that anime.
I know. I'm just making sure people understand.
Hey,
You
we're
gotta find
talking
the right anime.
we're talking about that anime. Just go on
I
www.
haven't actually watched
No, I'm
any
just kidding.
anime. The only, I guess, if you consider Pokemon anime,
It is. I hate that it is though.
I've
hate
watched like one
Pokemon.
episode, and that's all the anime I've ever watched.
I hate it.
Really?
I'd
Yeah.
rather die.
Record of Ragnarok's.
That's
I finished the last few episodes.
it's so
Look
good.
at you two anime nerds.
But it's so good because it's
That's
okay.
the only
'cause
anime I
It's
ever
so good.
No,
He's itching for
you
his
gotta watch
cravings.
it. Watch it. No,
You gotta watch it, man.
I have a freaking pimple on my neck. How's that possible? No, it's really good though because it's like it's a tournament of like so
Humans versus gods.
yeah, humans versus all types of mythologies.
So it's
And-
Hunger Games, except
No,
unfair.
not a tournament like that. It's like a
No.
one-on-one
Yeah,
like fighting
one-on-one fight
tournament,
to the
like
death.
martial art type of tournament you would think.
Well, it's just unfair because gods always win.
But the
right?
thing is, they aren't winning every time.
Yeah.
Like some of these dudes they are him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
See,
but the
that's
thing is-
because there's only one god.
Well, see, the other thing is they have Adam in it.
Yeah, they have Adam.
Oh.
And
They
he
have Adam
fights
in there.
Zeus, so he's supposedly the strongest god of all of them.
Adam
Every
won,
mythology.
right?
He would have won, but he didn't end up winning because like
Cap. Is he even it?
no. Oh, she was.
she
she was in the
was.
stand. She's
Yeah.
naked. It's hilarious.
She was naked?
And
She
then
got
I
two
think
sons.
it's funny that like they had what are the two sons' names? One of them is crazy. That's all I remember.
Oh, Crane? Wait, what?
Cain
Oh,
and Abel?
Cain and Abel.
Who's the one that's crazy though that killed the other one? Is
Cain.
it Cain?
Cain.
It was funny because they were like so when Adam's fighting Zeus, like Cain's the crazy one.
Yeah.
Abel's like motivating, like a nice motivator, like you can do this, and then Cain's like kill him, like he's so much more intense. So I think it's
Kill
hilarious.
him!
Yeah.
I really
That's crazy because Cain killed Abel. And then
You know what? There's the door.
got on him.
There's
about
the
it.
door. No,
I'm
but
waiting for Sandra to walk in that door.
yeah, let me check my phone to text him.
I
You get
have,
it?
I have my phone.
Anyone else get it? Oh, yeah, I forgot you do have his number. But
I do have his number now.
would you out of those? Because I know you looked up some stuff
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
We kind of got off track, but
Yeah, it's all good.
We
Hey,
got
we're just
very
going
off
with the
track.
conversation, man.
It's flowing right now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and so talking to you guys, the most important thing, like these podcasts are never a set time that we're gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
Some could be 10 minutes, some could be an hour, hour and a half. Some could
No,
be 30
only
minutes.
10 minutes.
But like, our biggest thing is we don't ever want to force conversation to make the
Yeah.
podcast longer. So if it flows naturally like this, that's not us forcing it. It's just kind of came to mind.
Yeah,
as
it's
we
just
were talking about it.
Yeah.
And so the last video, you noticed I had a paper that I kept looking at, and that was just so we could have a structured basis. So that way, if we ever got too far off topic, we could come back
Mhm.
to the main issue. I didn't really have enough time just because I was going through a lot of things that were taking up time, and ironically dealing with stress. Like today I was at my girlfriend's house. I went to leave to go to church this morning and my car was towed and I was like locked out of her apartment and she was in the shower and then my mom, like, so I was calling my mom and her and neither of them were answering. But the thing is, I didn't charge my phone the night before, and so I was at 1%. I was stressed out or freaking out. I almost had a panic attack today. My chest was all tight. But the thing is, it's crazy because God, like, I was like still, even after everything was fixed and like I got my car and everything, like I still felt like my chest felt tight. And then I went to church, even though I was half an hour late. My mom was like, she doesn't go to church yet, but like she had taken me to get my car and she was like, "You need to go to church. You need to like." She said, "Go to church. You need this." And I was like,
So did you go to the last service 30 minutes in?
"No, I went to the 10 o'clock service, but it was like a 45 minutes that I was there, I guess." But and like throughout the listening to the sermon, it was good, and it just slowly let like stress felt like it was leaving my body, and then also like I took a second, I was like, the thought that like the fact that Jesus is right next to, because I was too full. The middle service, the 10 o'clock service, it always has the most people,
Yeah.
and so with me being half an hour late, there wasn't really any seats, and so I just stood back on the back wall, and not Greg, Jeff, no, what is
Jeff
it?
Hughes?
No,
Glenn,
yeah, he
Glenn
was
Grant.
sitting
Oh.
back there, and I just stood like posted up against the wall like a wall hugger. But I mean, I wasn't worried about it, and I was just listening, and like I slowly, once again, like I felt the stress leaving my body, and just because I was surrounded by a community of people who were Christians, for one, that also helps a lot. But like, I took a second, I was like, Jesus is next to me right now, like, and I truly believe he was, and I envisioned it. His arm was around me, like holding me and like just letting me understand that everything, I don't need to worry. Like, ironically, I don't need to worry about tomorrow or what's to come even after the service. Like, I just need to be in the present and understand the blessing that he's with me and that I'm with other people who
Yeah.
think the same way. And like, especially after that song, the last worship song, I don't really know what it was. What was it about?
Rock of Ages?
No,
Was
or
that
it was like I don't even know.
I thought it was Oh God, My God, I Need You,
Yeah. Oh,
Rock
wait.
of Ages, I Need You Now or something.
Oh,
Unless that was the last song of the beginning. Of
Are
the
you talking about
service.
the very
the
last
very
song?
last song. It was like something about
I
like
thought that was the very last song.
It might be. Trey might just be tripping.
Check.
what
Honestly,
I'm
we
doing
could go
right
on
now.
YouTube and find it.
yeah,
I found it.
yeah,
Just
so
gotta
I don't
hold
know
on.
exactly what it was. They're about to look it up, but hearing that, like, it literally was perfect for what I needed to hear. And I truly feel God was that lady, the one who was singing, because was it a girl who sung the last song for you guys?
Yeah.
She was
She was
the
getting
Holy Spirit was
into
in
it.
her at that, and it was really just
Well, did
connecting
you-
to me.
Was the shorter, I don't know her ethnicity.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Was she dancing around?
Yeah, she always dances. Whenever I
Dude,
look at
she
her
was
or
getting it.
there's a white lady that's kind of short too, and she's
Yeah.
always, those two are always dancing. When I look at them, because like sometimes you can see everyone else is kind of just like doing just flowing, and like there's one guitar dude. He looks
He was up there today.
yeah,
I think.
he's usually also just
Far
like
right
getting
side.
he's always getting into it. But like those two, whenever like I don't feel like the singers or anyone else is really into it, I look at them and I'm like, the Holy Spirit is in them, and that just also
Yeah.
just is like, let
Well,
it flow.
The chick, she was doing some like ballerina stuff, bro, and I was like, yo, she's going crazy. And then she like chilled out, and then the next song started out kind of mellow. And then I see her take off her shoes, and I'm like, bro, what's
What's
she
going on?
about to do?
It's a
It
back.
was
She got the
Back to
dogs
Life.
up.
Yeah.
The
Wait.
enemy thought he
Yeah,
had
that
me,
song.
That song,
but
that
Because
song.
like
Jesus
Yep.
said you are
through all this, like,
mine.
because I mean the past few days, that song is so good.
Oh
But
yeah, I love that song.
like the past
I
two,
also like
favorites.
Build My Life.
no, wrong answer. Gratitude, and
Gratitude was
and
gosh.
He Has My Heart, or God, King of My Heart. Those two songs, those are the best two songs I think I know at the moment.
Nah,
Or
Build My
Holy
Life.
Forever.
I don't
There's
know.
Build My
three.
Life
Those
is
are
up there.
those, like, every time those three songs are sung, I get chills, and like I truly feel the Holy Spirit singing.
I like
It is.
Build a Boat, I think it
But
is.
anyways, so that song, like, the enemy thought he had me. The past few days, I've just been feeling like even though I know God is there with me, like I feel like the enemy is, because I always talk about like the more you're going through stuff, in my opinion, I see it like I truly believe that the devil sees you as a threat, so he's trying to throw more crap at you to
Yeah.
get you off of the course that God has for you. And so with those past few days, like stacking more and more on top of me that I'm used to not having, like he really did thought he had me.
Yeah.
And even though I would tell myself, God has got a bigger purpose, it's okay. I have God, so that's what matters. Like I was telling myself this, the enemy just kept whispering and trying to convince me that like nothing was gonna work, like everything wasn't gonna go well. Like there was no purpose of me trying to be optimistic. Like he was constantly whispering to me, trying to make me think it was my own thoughts. And so it started to like, even though I kept telling myself God's got me, like it still slowly was pulling me away. And then after like even like this morning, like it's Sunday and start my day, I get my car towed. Like I could have just been like, that's the last straw. Like I am done being positive.
Yeah.
I kept telling myself, it's okay. God is he's turning this into something. I don't need to worry. And then hearing that especially that song,
Yeah.
it really just made me like, I know like throughout the service my chest was slowly getting less tight from the anxiety.
Oh
It
yeah.
just completely left from that song. Like I started crying towards the end of it, and I don't like, until these past few days I have cried, not because of good things. I know
Trey!
a man
Didn't cry?
crying. I should
Didn't
probably.
cry?
I'm not a man anymore.
Oh my
I should
gosh, you're sinning.
I should become a woman.
You have to go
Yep.
get surgery now.
I know.
Nope.
LGBTQT, here I come.
LG.
A B Z D E F F
Hey, yo.
exclamation point. Here I
Yo,
come.
yo.
But yeah, and then so like like I said, I usually don't cry, but I've really have cried these past few days, and then like I really like I started to tear up, and like tears left my I started sweating out my eyes. There we go. I wasn't crying.
Sweating at you.
I was sweating out my
Yeah.
eyes a
Oh,
little bit, just
I've
a
been
little bit.
sweating out my eyes this week
And
too.
look, he farted again. It was
Gosh
my
dang
it was
you,
my
Brady.
shoe.
Every time,
It was
man.
my shoe.
Every time,
Oh
bro.
my god.
But-
Trey's getting
You
something
guys
good going.
don't hop
and every time you
off.
fart, bro.
Yeah, honestly, cut your
Can't
legs off.
believe
Cut your butt off. Put a
Honestly, I'm just gonna put a cork in it.
Yeah, be a good little
Honestly,
kitty.
maybe I should just leave. The door's open.
Honestly, yeah, that's what the door's open for. Is just
Yeah.
waiting for you to leave.
Oh, my bad.
And so then me and Huts are gonna take over.
Well, then I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go pee if that's
What is
how
going on,
it
guys? No, but
I actually
yeah.
don't have to pee.
Uh-huh.
Sure, yeah.
Probably have to poop though.
I know this coffee is making me have to poop, but yeah, like that just really brought me back and just realized the enemy tried to really put in some effort.
He tried to
And
get you.
like, and I'm gonna be honest, I honestly was getting to the point, like especially after the car was towed, like I realized it was towed, like I for a split second was like, I'm not doing the podcast today. I don't know how I can be positive. I don't know how I can give enough time for this. And then
Oh, I just saw a sermon over this. You continue
how
talking. I literally
dare
just saw a
you
sermon
guys.
over
No,
this.
but yeah, and I was like, I don't have it in me today, and to like try to help others, and so the enemy had me.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
going to church and hearing that song, I truly believe God was speaking to me through that, because I didn't
God
think I was
spoke
gonna
to you
start.
through your mom, though.
Exactly. If I didn't listen to her and I didn't go to church, I wouldn't have heard that song.
Yeah.
And like it all, like he was there. He was speaking through my mom. He spoke through that worship, and he was there holding me throughout the whole sermon. And so the enemy backed off.
Yeah, and I think another thing is like.
When's the last time y'all saw a dab? Look at this guy dabbing. Who does that anymore?
Look at this guy bringing on an old trend.
Wait, hold on.
I bet you like Fortnite too, don't you?
Oh, I actually freaking love Fortnite. I'm probably gonna play Fortnite at some point today.
I might play Fortnite tonight, Loki.
Oh come on, bro. Where
I gotta
is
throw my
he?
straw away. Throw your straw away. You still got coffee.
I know. I'm just sipping out of it.
You gonna sip on it? Kind of weird. No, I think how supportive is your mom of like?
What's his name?
How supportive is your mom of
Oh, she's so
everything?
supportive. And like that's what I love about her. Like even though she's not has the deepest connection with God, or like deepest like bond and like relationship with him, he or she's still like, I always try to tell her, I'm like, hey, you can come to church, and she even was going to come to this new, like, because this is the start of the new stuff, right?
Disciple, yeah.
Yeah, and so I told her, and I was like, I think I was truly excited about
Honestly, get her the
And-
book.
I think I will, because she likes to read. She just always runs out of books to read, and so like, and like she tells me all the time, like she doesn't sit down and like, I think I always forget that she does have her own relationship with him, because she always asks me to like pray about things, because I truly do think she, just because she's not going to church and she's not giving, or she's not as deep as I am, she doesn't think she's worthy enough to pray and actually have something work, which makes me really sad, because it doesn't matter how deep your faith is, he's gonna hear you. But she's like, whenever I tell her, I'm like, you can pray too, and like, how have you been with your relationship with God? And she's like, straight up told me, she's like, I talk to him. I don't do everything you do, and like I don't read the Bible, but like I've been talking to him recently, and that made me really happy, because like
Yeah.
my biggest fear, besides like, honestly, it's more of a fear than what I thought was my biggest fear. Now that I'm really looking at it, like I thought that the biggest fear I had was for him to tell me, depart from me, for I never knew you. That is
Yeah.
huge. Like that is anything else that is easily
That
toppling over my fear.
stings.
Oh yeah.
But because you're screwed once that is said.
Yeah.
But like knowing, like I'd rather myself be told that than realizing and understanding and like actually like comprehending that that would be said to my family, and like especially my
Yeah.
closer family, like my mom, or if it was my
Your
older brother
sister.
who's in California, like because he was a kid at once. Like all these people that I know don't have a relationship with God, even if I don't know who they are, or if I don't know them for very long. I know that they were a kid at once, and to think that they're eternally going to be separated, that's a fear of mine.
Yeah.
So that's also why I feel so called to, like, I think that's also why he's put ministry, regardless of how it is, in my heart, because he sees that it really does break my heart, regardless of how much I know a person, to
Yeah.
think that they'll have that eternal separation. And so I don't know. Oh, because you asked me if my mom's supportive, but yeah. So she really is. And yeah. So is my stepdad. He, like, if I ever really bring it up, or he'll even bring it up sometimes, we can get a good conversation about it if we really need to. But yeah.
How's your sister doing here at church?
She hasn't gone
is
in
she
a
still going?
while.
Really?
I mean, I think it's like she was mostly going, like she was consistently going for a while, because like
Yeah.
she would go with with her dad, and because he would go, that made me really happy, because I didn't. This guy is like he's black, but like he's not like a black suburban dude. Like he's like a past, like actual gangster type of black dude. Like he's not like a, hey bud, let's talk about our credit score. Like he was a thug at some point. And so like he's always believed in God, but like he was like, one day I saw him leaving from church, and I thought maybe he was just picking up my sister. But he was like, yeah, I've been going, and like I've always believed in God, and I've still been believing in him, but I just feel like I lost it. I lost my like connection with him. And so that made me really happy, because he's someone I never saw going to church, just because like I knew he was what a man is, like tough,
Yeah.
doesn't show like I. So yeah, that was really cool.
And I think that ties into the message today even. It's like we were talking about how you're gonna see people in heaven that you would have never thought would be there, and you're gonna see people that you thought would be there for sure, and they're not going to.
Like
It's crazy
Hudson.
how each week, it's crazy how each week it's kind of like led one into another, like the sermon in our podcast and the themes.
He copying our whole style.
He
Whole
oh
flow,
my
bar for
gosh.
bar. Was that
Also-
Soldier Boy? I'll insert a clip of Soldier Boy saying that.
Also, how do we feel about the big news today?
Oh, I thought, yeah.
Oh yeah, you showed
That's
up
crazy.
late. Did you not hear about
Did
Oh,
you
it?
not hear?
he's retiring?
Yeah.
That made me
Yeah.
Jersey told me that, and I was like, nah. But
Nah.
that is
Did
sad.
you hear about who's taking the spot?
Chris?
Yeah,
That'll be.
Chris.
I'm really glad that because I mean, like I want him to come on and share his like whole thing, but like from where he was planning on going with his life, and then now that he's gonna be leading, like he's the main pastor. That's really cool. I'm glad for him.
My only thought process that is a little negative about it is
He's black.
no what? No.
Dun dun dun.
The the youth group has gone through so many different leaders
Yeah.
in the last 4 years that I'm worried that it's gonna be too much for him to do both, and we're gonna end up getting a new
Oh yeah,
youth
we
pastor.
are almost. I feel like we're almost 100% gonna get a new leader.
And that's why I wish that Jay Coles was still here.
Yeah.
Jermaine.
Jermaine
Yo, what
Oh.
happened to
Coles.
Jermaine?
He went
I
to be a
think he went-
teacher.
He went to
Yeah.
go be a teacher.
This guy
You
hates
serious?
God.
Come
No, I'm just kidding.
on.
This
I'm
guy, man, went from youth group to be a teacher.
Wait a minute.
Joking.
We're gonna need a new youth minister.
Mm.
Well, I was talking to Mark about it, and he was like, maybe it's gonna be you. And I was like, oh, God.
Nope, I called dibs.
He was like, I was like, I'm not qualified. He was like, you're right. You might not be, but God puts things on your heart, and you jump
Right.
into it when you're not qualified. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, don't do that to me.
Please
Why
don't.
do you have to be right? You're stressing me out.
That scared me. But kill yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta be nice.
Well,
For
oh,
real.
have you read any?
No, I haven't read my scriptures
Gosh.
yet. Nah.
I haven't even read mine.
Who is this guy?
Which
Where
one?
am I?
Should I read the first one or the second one first?
Whatever.
Neither. Let you read.
Just go home. No, I'm just kidding. Get to walking.
Why is this hand sanitizer so solidified?
I want to hear you guys' thoughts on Philippians 4:6 because I've been trying to like figure it
Well,
out.
read it then.
Nah, we just gotta get.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God.
One more time. I'm sorry.
Do
Dude,
not
this
be
thing-
anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God.
Do you want to say what you think about it first, or me?
You go ahead.
I'm saying, what I think is it's saying
Who's
basically,
this guy?
It's
this guy. He's telling us what he thinks. Boring.
saying put, everything that you need solved, or that you think you need solved on God, not that He will solve it, but that He will guide you through it.
That he'll hear you out.
Yeah.
Dude,
He'll hear
smoking,
you, he'll
it
understand
stinks.
you.
No.
Kiss my hand.
No. That's gay. That is gay. He's gay. He's going to hell. Gay, gay, gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, it
Well,
stinks.
the way there's someone at Lowe's. I told her about the podcast. I think she followed or subscribed. I don't know if she
We have
ended up
6
watching.
subscribers now.
Really? Oh,
So
it
maybe.
probably is her.
Yo,
But
W.
she's a Christian. She goes to a Baptist church, but she's gay, and so like that'll be a whole nother story. Like me and her had a really good conversation about like
LGBTQ and the
well, she doesn't.
religion
That's the thing. She doesn't
community.
believe in like she's
Really?
not supportive of the LGBTQT like or however ABZFG. She doesn't support
The
it.
whole alphabet.
She doesn't support it, and like that's also why I feel like I can because I don't agree with it. I will
Yeah,
love
I
anyone.
think-
I love Hitler. Like I don't. That sounds wrong.
Okay.
I don't agree with anything he did, and I don't respect him. But I love the fact that I knew he was one of God's creations, and what he could have been if he followed it.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
If he follows.
So I love everyone.
I think where the problem comes in is how they're bashing people.
Mm.
I think that's the
That's a
reason that-
conversation for another
Yeah,
day.
yeah. That's another
God.
time.
He asked a question about
I'm
Philippians.
sorry.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I was just getting a
And
little.
yeah, no
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
You're on timeout. Go
The main part
go
I'm
drink that marinara
like
sauce.
the main part I'm confused about is don't be anxious about anything, but in everything.
I think. Well, was there a excuse me? Was there a comma after don't
Yeah,
be
don't be anxious about anything, comma, but
Okay.
in everything.
So I think what that means is he's saying don't be anxious about anything.
Yes.
And then so that ends that like little he could have put a
Thing, yeah.
period and then he's saying but in everything pray about it. So is that how it goes or is there another comma
There's another comma.
after what part?
Everything.
So but in
say-
everything
Don't be
comma.
anxious about anything,
Comma.
but in everything, by power and pension, with thanksgiving, present
That's
your
a lot of
request to God.
commas,
That there's so many
Hey,
commas.
listen, that's way too much grammar for me.
So well yeah, that is a lot. So the way I always see it is like he knows that we'll feel anxious at some points, but he's
Oh,
saying
yeah.
don't worry about being anxious. Like, and if there is a time, anytime you feel anxious, be able to understand that you can come to him. He wants you to come to him and pray about it. But he doesn't just say, "Hey, come take my problems away. Hey, hear me out. I'm going through so much." He also says, "Come give me things." You can't always. If I'm sitting there, like that's the same way I see as like forgiving someone that's done you wrong or praying for someone who's done you
Yeah.
done you wrong. You have to understand there's no physical way. I generally disagree with anyone who says they can, but like you can't pray for someone that's an enemy but still harbor hatred. Like if you did me wrong,
Yeah.
if I still like I couldn't sit and pray for you and then after I like while I'm praying for you after be like I still
Be
want to
like,
kill this
Yeah.
guy. Like
that guy is such a bad person.
He's
and
just
yeah, and like you have to like to be able to pray for someone means you're gonna forgive them. Like you've been
Yeah.
able to forgive them enough. Doesn't mean you're okay with what happened or that you're gonna be buddy buddy, but you've forgiven them. And like the same with the anxious like part, to be able to sit there and like pray, like if you're a real Christian, they understand that when you're praying, if you truly believe it's gonna happen, it might not might magically snap away or it might not go
happen right
away.
then and there.
But you have to understand if a real like follower and a real believer will understand that he's hearing what you're saying and he's gonna solve it in the way that he knows is best. It doesn't mean it's gonna instantly go away. It might not even go away because you might need to go through it. But pray about it. Say like I'm anxious about am I gonna get it into this college and
Yeah.
I'm like please let me get into this college and I don't get into it. It's not that he didn't hear me about how anxious I am and how bad I want it. He knows what's best, and so that's the reason he didn't take
Yeah.
that issue and solve it the way I wanted it to be solved. He solved it in the way that I needed it to be
I
solved.
think
'Cause
that's I guess when I was looking at college, I didn't think about it that way, but I feel like that was actually really good because like my plan was to go to Trine like Caleb and Clay and all them just because of the community that was built there. And my whole point of going there was for business, and now seeing it, I'm now in an engineering class in a small engineering school that's way cheaper,
Yeah.
a really good community, very small, like high school classes, small,
Oh yeah.
and not a worry at all.
I like that.
And that's
because that's what you
Trine is
needed.
one of the biggest engineering schools.
Really?
Yeah.
And you wanted to be there. You didn't need. He didn't need
Yeah,
you
I
to be there
wanted
for
to
your
be there,
purpose.
but it was so expensive and everything else that like it's not that I decided not to go there because still wanted to go even when committing to this college.
Oh yeah.
But it's like I just after going to the college that I'm in now and having a preview day there, it was like I have to be at this place. So I guess I've never really looked at it like that.
I'm sorry. My impulses got the best of me.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's gonna be so loud on there. You
So
gotta cut it out.
what do you think about it? Like, what do you? Because I know you're confused about it, but like
Yeah.
hearing at least
Hearing
how
what
I've
you
explained
said.
it. It's okay, baby. Stroke it. Read. I'm freaking
Read what?
wait. I thought that's what you were getting on your phone for.
Read the verse.
Well, no,
Which
yeah,
one?
because
The
I
second
asked.
one?
No, I asked you. What do you think about it now after hearing how I see it? Like, does it? Do you still?
I
are you
think he
still
already
confused?
answered this.
Huh?
I thought you were still just confused. I thought that's
Huh?
why.
No, I get it a lot. I get it a lot. I get what you're saying about it.
Guys, we're gonna miss this podcast.
It's all right. This
Yeah,
is
it's
more
all
of a.
good.
This is a natural podcast. The last one
Yeah.
was pretty like.
It was a little
Robotic.
scripted.
Yeah.
It was so pretty flowy though.
I liked it. I like
Do
both.
you want me to read mine then now?
Guys play rock paper scissors for who goes.
I just have one more verse left.
Hey yo, why y'all fingers or hands doing that? Yeah. Best 2 out of 3. Do you guys know how to play rock paper scissors?
No, it's gonna make it too long. Just go.
Alright.
This child.
Child. Wow. Hey.
1 Peter
Age
7
before
through 9.
beauty.
Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings.
Did you look for the longest ones that you could find for this?
This is 2 verses. You could read.
That's actually.
Oh.
I really like that.
It's
'cause
7 through
No, I like it too. I was just messing.
it connects literally with the last podcast a little bit because like he said be observant and clear-minded. So one that goes into like my whole like why I don't think people should go and get drunk, and even though it says in the Bible don't, but like when you're intoxicated, when you're not clear-minded, when you're, this is also why I think logically, I try to at least,
Yeah.
instead of emotionally, when you're not clear-minded, it's very easy to act on emotions that they might not even be what you, they might be what you think are your emotions. It could very well be him whispering, hey, you're mad right now. Let's go ahead and act this way because I'm your voice.
Let
I'm
me
your
go beat
inner
up this
log.
guy because
Yeah.
I'm already drunk.
Exactly. And so like, but it also like the fact that you're clear-minded and you're observant, because like just like how lions don't hunt in the daytime, they go at night. They're night
Yeah.
hunters. In the same way with how we were talking about when you're in the darkness, if that backpack is in your way and you can't see it because you're not observant because it's dark, that's when you make the mistake.
Well,
You
you're
fall.
always going to be hunted in the
Exactly, and you're gonna be. He's hunting you when you're not clear-minded. He's
Yeah.
after you at all times when you're not observant of what's going on, when you can't see the light, when you're not surrounded by the light.
Yeah.
And would you be able to read the first part
Oh my
again? I'm sorry.
Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you.
And wait, I'm sorry. Then read the whole thing.
Be
That's my
alert
bad.
and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour.
Mhm.
Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings.
Yeah, and I mean,
So I think the very ending.
No.
The very ending is probably my favorite part of the entire verse.
Yeah. Because it's not just, again, it leads into last week. We were talking about not, like, falling into this conformity of everyone else. Like, again, going against the grain, being different. Like, all of our brothers and sisters through this that are all also in the light are going through this.
Yeah.
But it's also outside of that. It's more than just us. It's everyone.
It's everyone.
They just don't realize they don't have a name for what's going on because they're not in.
They're just roaming in the dark.
Yeah. So they don't know what's attacking them.
Yeah.
That's actually. So I mean, like in the darkness, they can't see, so they don't know it's the lion that's attacking them.
Yeah.
They think it could be freaking Casper the Ghost. I don't
Be
know.
the Oogie
For real.
Boogie Man.
The Oogie Boogie Man, exactly. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, not only does Jesus know what we've gone through and what we're gonna go through, and he understands and feels like he feels what we're going through. Other people, like if you want to look up, one of you want to, you can. But I know like there's a verse in one of the four gospels, like he's saying that like no sin is like there's something
No sin
about
is
like
greater than the other.
no, it's like something about the fact that there's nothing like no sin that you're tempted with that's beyond like not only that it's beyond your like he won't put a sin in your life that's beyond your like the way how much you can handle. I can't speak right now.
Well, it's
But-
like the thing of God won't give you a battle that you can't take.
Yeah, and then it says something else a little bit after that about like no sin is like not been known to me. Like basically other
Yeah.
people go through it,
Yeah.
and so that goes hand in hand with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
For sure.
And then, like you said at the beginning, he knows. He's like, come to me because I know and I will understand. And I'll feel your
Yeah.
every emotion you're going through. He'll feel the same way when you come to him. Now, when you try to tackle it on your own, you can't beat a lion by yourself.
Nope.
If you have that
That's
bazooka,
not going to happen.
exactly. If you try to beat a lion hand-to-hand combat, no, it's.
That's
I mean,
Especially in the
losing
dark.
battle.
yeah, especially in the dark,
Especially in
you're
the
not.
dark, there's no
You
way.
can't like
It's a
I
losing
don't.
battle.
I was listening
Well,
to a
'cause they have
video.
night vision too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
It's
see.
very,
They know what they're
crazy.
doing.
They're like, I see you over there. You think
You
you're
don't
slick,
you don't
but
see
you
me,
ain't.
but I see. Yeah.
Hey, you don't see me, John Cena.
Exactly. And like I was watching another podcast. It wasn't Tim, but
Tim Ross.
I know. I'm going to hell.
Still, we're gonna plug him though.
Yeah. Tim Ross. Tim
Ross.
Ross. Don't even say anything. Just Tim
Give him a
Ross.
look. He's like 20 times better than this.
Yeah.
But you know,
For real.
we just getting started. We trying.
Yeah, exactly. He was talking about though, like, it might have been in a sermon, but like, they were talking about we can handle because the thing is, a lot of people always try to every time there's an issue in their lives or like a temptation, they always just want to say, oh, it's the devil. Sometimes the devil doesn't care that much. Like he'll take the credit for it gladly, but sometimes he doesn't care enough. Like he has no reason to go and mess with you because you already, oh, I tripped. Like something as simple as my car being towed. Like it couldn't very well not be him. It could just be my own issue that I'm like, oh, it's the devil, and he's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take
yeah,
the,
it
I'll,
was me.
I'll take
Brush it off
the,
the
I'll
shoulder
take
or
the
something.
credit. I mean, I didn't do anything, but I mean,
It's like,
you
hey,
just were
that's
being
a
an
quick little
idiot.
easy
Yeah,
paycheck for me.
exactly.
Brush it
Exactly.
off.
And like um like the thing is you can handle, I mean, because very well it could have just been my own mistake where I mean it was like I wasn't observant
Yeah.
and I suffered the consequences. I could blame it on him and be like, oh, he set me up for this to try to mess me up, and he'll gladly say that it was him, or and like, but I don't think it was just him. I think it was my fault, and that's why I was also able to overcome that and be okay with it. Because we can beat our own issues. We can't beat the devil. Like if we're one on
Yeah.
one against the devil, he's gonna beat us every single time, 10, 11 times out of 10.
But as soon as you get God
But we
involved,
have God to fight
Yep.
him. We can't rely on ourselves to fight him and win. We have him who we know will beat him. We can beat our own issues, like that we cause to ourselves. We can't beat him. Like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, we
It's
can
like
beat our flesh.
it's a
We can't beat
kid.
the devil.
I could beat a baby up. I can't beat up Mike Tyson.
whoa, you're beating up babies.
Yo.
A U.S. Army with nuclear launch codes is beating Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I'm not beating Mike Tyson. I'm beating this kid up because it's like I'm beating myself up
There
as a
you
child.
go.
You're
We'll say
taking
that.
kid from a candy?
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking kid from a
Yeah,
candy?
I can take
Taking
a
candy
candy
from
from
a
a
kid?
kid, but I can't take candy from Mike Tyson. I'm
Oh,
not,
that sounds
there's no
so
way I'm
stupid
gonna.
right now, bro.
Yeah. But so that's how I think of it. And so like just to rely on him, like with what you had talked about, come to him and he will understand and he will help fight that battle.
Oh yeah.
But we can't, just because we can beat our own smaller things that we bring about ourselves, we can't fight the devil himself.
Yeah.
We'll lose every time. So
For sure.
that was a long thing just for that. I'm sorry.
Nah, it was good.
No.
Don't be sorry for it, bro. That was great.
I'm gonna freaking kill myself, so I don't know. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
no. Hudson, you're the new host with me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll pull up mine now.
What were your verses again?
Don't sigh like it's a terrible thing. So I have James 1. I have James 1, 2 through 4, and Psalms 119, 143. So let me pull them up real quick.
Oh, by the way, guys,
No.
my fellow viewers,
No.
we're definitely getting. I know we didn't
No.
get out the podcast on Wednesday like we said we would,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
can guarantee from now on
Uh-huh.
it will be out on Wednesday because I figure out how to take care of me getting the audio instantly.
We
Oh,
had
you
a
did?
lot of
Yeah.
problems.
We were.
bro.
I was just we put it off and then.
Were we being stupid or?
No, I know how to. I'll tell you guys. I'll talk about it after the podcast. How easy it is, or like how simple I need to just take it. But like
Okay.
we were struggling, and that's why I didn't
Did you
come
make a post on Insta? I don't think you did.
I made a post on Insta
You did?
and I tried to make a post in the Men Leading Men thing on Facebook, which I gotta bring up to you.
Dude.
Because Denny wants to meet up with us about how to advertise it on Facebook for their group. So
Okay.
we gotta talk about that. Maybe we could meet up with him like Wednesday or Thursday.
Was it a story or was it a post?
Yeah, I made a story, but
Oh, okay.
that was a few days ago. I got like 180 views on that story.
Really?
Wow, and they're all fake because none of them.
Because none.
Yeah, they were.
Oh.
No, that's true. They were all just the booty
Do you
girls that are going
do
on
you
it.
post? Do you just make like do you just tell people like do you just post new videos out or do you link the because you can copy a link and put
yeah.
it so they can just click it so it's a
Yeah,
lot
so
easier.
what I did was I like put a little bit of a word, like just me actually typing. Whoa.
Huh?
You put a word.
You put a word.
So I put like
You
a
put a word.
sentence talking about
You
how
put a
it was
word.
like rough, but we finally got it done. And then I put the link for the video, and the background was a photo when I was trying to upload it to you, when it said it was like 114 hours to upload it, bro. And I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, that was rough.
Well, 'cause we got here and I was trying to download it to him, and
Yeah.
it said like 7 hours. And then I got home, and before it like fully connected to my internet, I opened it up, and instantly he goes 120 hours. I said,
Huh?
I was like, there's no way. My internet at home is so much better, and there's nobody on the internet like there was at Union Chapel. And then instantly, within like 30 minutes, that 120 hours went down to done. It still took a little bit though.
Yeah. But what was your verse? I'm sorry, we got off track.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So James 1, 2 through 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Yeah.
I actually love this.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I heard the words.
Yeah.
I didn't like actually. Nothing came
Do you
from.
need to read it?
Yeah, well, you can read it again. I just literally like I was hearing you, but I
I've
kind of
heard
just
that
zoned
verse
out.
before many times.
Do you want to read it
Let
so
me
you
read it.
can get it?
Yeah.
You
I
don't
might
get
have to
you
read
don't
that
get
in
to
a
read it.
minute.
Okay.
You don't get to read
Consider
it.
it
You're actually
pure.
not privileged enough.
Consider it
What's the
pure
verse?
joy.
James 1, 2 through 4.
James 1, 2, 3.
Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let the perseverance finish its work, so you may mature. Oh, that's so freaking simple.
Dude, that's a good.
It's such a good verse because that's how I tell everyone like we're put through trials so we can get stronger. And if
Yeah.
I'll let him finish, but like I have an opinion on that I try to tell everyone.
I just think it's. Oh, dude, I started reading the next one now too. Sorry. It's also a really good verse.
Don't you dare read it. Hudson's
Oh,
slow.
Sorry.
no, I think it's really good though because it's like we said earlier, God's not gonna give you a battle that you can't go through, but it doesn't mean the battle's not gonna break you down until you feel like you have nothing more to give, and that's gonna push you past your limits.
But no, like yeah,
To
and
plug his channel.
that complement's just working out so well because a lot of people think they know their limits when it comes to pushing to fit. Like if you don't know what that means, like you're working out, say you're hitting bicep
Yeah.
curls, and you think, oh, I can't do anymore. Your mind tells you that, so you give up. But if you truly actually pushed past what your mind thinks you can do, you probably have 5, 10 more reps in you that you didn't know because you didn't press. And same with how you say, he'll give us battles that we think are gonna break us down to where we can't get past it. We have a lot more. Our mind just sets
And each time it just makes a new barrier.
Exactly.
And every single time you break through it and you get a new one.
Exactly. And that's the same, like, not only just with our faith, but like working out. Like, he's giving us these battles. And if we could sit there and be like, just take this away from us, and he could if he wanted to. If he sat and took away took every problem away from us, we would have issues, but we wouldn't have grown from these issues. He gives us these like to grow. And like a simple thing of like, say you've been done wrong by people, it shows you how to be more observant about who to surround yourself with. It shows you how to be caring even when you're done wrong. Like you grow from these little inconveniences. Like me getting my car towed, I could be like, just bring my car back right now. I don't want to suffer and pay this money for my own stupid actions. Or I can learn, hey, I have to pay for this. I have to suffer for my ignorance and my foolishness, and I'm not gonna make that same mistake.
Not
and
only
if he would have
physically have to pay, you have to figuratively pay too.
and like, so that's just with that. Oh, they're gonna walk past. You want to close the door? Cause it'll be loud.
Bro, last week
It was scary.
I don't know if you heard it.
Nah, I don't think I got
Oh,
that
there was
far.
an alarm. Like someone walked through the door and it was like sounding the siren or the alarm.
That's crazy.
No, he goes. The alarm goes off and Trey goes, "Oh, we thought you were a killer or something," and the dude just went, haha. And Trey was like, "Nah, I'm still gonna lock the door." That dude laughed about it.
Didn't say nothing. He just giggled. But yeah,
He
like
just laughed about it. I was
What
like,
you're saying is God's like a spotter on bench.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're struggling to get that last rep in, and then he's gonna let your struggle not take the weight straight off of you.
yes, exactly.
look at him.
Yeah, let me get some. Cause
I'm not gonna reach across. I'll give you some afterwards.
But like, cause that spotter, the one he is basically
a good
spotter in the gym. He's going to watch you struggle, cause if he sat there and soon as he saw any effort put in, any like a sign of you struggling to do it, if he took it away from you, you need to stop farting.
For real.
If he took it away from you, like say you're going for a max, like a PR on bench, and say like Hudson, I know you can obviously do this because you're like doing 415 or something. But say you're going for 225 and you're going for it, and you're like, oh, it's not going up instantly. I'm struggling. And if
Yeah.
that spotter, a good spotter, if he just took it away, it wouldn't be a good spotter. If a bad spotter was there, he took it away, you could have gotten that rep up. You could have hit that PR. You could
Yeah.
have grown and gotten stronger from it if you actually tried and pushed past what you thought you were capable of.
Yep.
And that's what a bad spotter would take it away before you actually can push past your limits, literally. In the sense of the faith, he he's a good spotter. He's perfect. If he was not a good, loving, and like he all knowing God, he could be like, oh, they're struggling with family issues. Let's go ahead and just make everyone perfect, and he won't have to worry, and he won't grow from that. But he'll be okay right now. Like,
Yeah.
that's not growing. And
No.
like the same way I might say, like, again, like you're going for a bench PR, and as a good spotter, he's like, oh, he's struggling, and you say you don't get the rep, and he eventually then he takes it away from, like, he helps you back up. If he, like, doing that allows you also to grow and be like, hey, I need to work on, say it's like you're halfway up, which means you're at the lockout point, which means it's just your triceps you need to grow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have even gotten to that point if you took it as soon as it went
Yeah.
up. Like,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't have grown to realize, hey, I need to work on this, because you would have had the bar taken away from you as soon as you took it off the rack to even start. You know what I
I
mean?
think one of the even crazier things is if you look at the body, even talking about fitness and this even, your muscles tear when you work them, and then they have to
And they
rebuild,
grow.
And then they grow.
and they
Get
grow.
stronger.
It's the same exact thing. It's pushing your limits.
You keep talking.
Dude, how do you do
Gosh
this?
dang
This
you,
is the
bro.
second week.
I only have liquid in my body right
So do I.
now. I'm gay.
Oh no, not that I'm gay. Uh, oh, dude. It's just so crazy to think about. Like, he wonderfully and perfectly made us, and the fact of growing your muscles did not come by accident. He made that on
No.
purpose.
Yeah.
Like, you know he did.
Oh yeah. Of course.
That's oh shoot,
Ooh.
dropped the mic. Not in a good way. But it's so crazy. Like, he just knew that somebody was gonna make that realization one day and be like,
If I
oh
push
my
myself
gosh.
past my limits, then
oh
I'll
my
be able
gosh,
to.
if I push myself past my limit physically, I can do it mentally, and then I can
Yeah.
do it spiritually. And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's crazy.
wow. And then your brain just goes, I got it.
Yeah. Ain't no way.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I locked that door. So Trey's gonna try
You
to
better
get in.
have.
What kind?
I was just butt naked, yeah.
That was all just
Just been
fine.
crying without me being here. I know.
Oh, we were definitely crying.
Oh yeah.
We're just talking
We
about
actually had a
how-
better conversation with that.
Yeah, we
too.
actually had
You
a
should
way
just
better
like leave
conversation.
again and then.
We're just gonna kick out
White
the black
lives
kid.
matter. White lives matter.
I'm gonna read this other verse by the
Uh-huh.
way. It's James 1:5.
Yeah.
If any of you lack wisdom, and this goes back.
Oh, jeez.
This goes back to last week
I
though.
feel scared.
Hey, listen.
N-
This goes back to last week. Better pay attention.
Yeah.
And you better watch the video so you understand.
I just have like 30 minutes left. Okay.
It says, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you.
Yep.
Yep.
Did you?
Did
What are
you
you
pay attention,
doing?
Trey?
I'm listening to it.
Uh-huh.
Do you need?
Well, what do you
lack-
say? What do you say?
About lacking wisdom, you need to come to God about it to receive wisdom.
I was trying to figure out what you were doing. Were you breaking hairs?
There was like hair. I don't know where I just pulled it from, but it was a long hair.
Pulled
Looks like
it
a
out your
dog.
butt crack.
Looks like a dog hair though. Yeah, those are the best hairs to pull because it's like a noodle going through your butt crack. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do that. That's probably the best feeling in the world. I'm being so for real.
You're kind of weird though.
Pulling a long, I don't have long hair anymore, so it doesn't happen. But like pulling a long hair that came from my head down and it fell into my butt cheeks, slithering one of those out. Listen, I'm not
you
gay.
should read the next two
I'm not
verses.
Of that?
James.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. We're reading all of James today.
Dude, it's good.
It is? Okay, I
James
see
is
why.
good.
James is probably the
We're reading
quickest and
James 2 through
best way
7
to
today,
understand
boys.
how to be a Christian.
James
2
is
through
crazy.
7.
James went crazy on this.
LeBron James.
King James.
Yeah, King James.
LeBron James.
Alright, James 6 through 7. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do.
You're gonna hate me.
Let it sink in.
Nothing is gonna sink in because I heard it once again. I just didn't.
Gosh dang you, Trey.
I'm sorry. It's
What
when
is going on?
when it's longer than 3 words, my brain isn't able to keep up. Gosh.
All he remembers is God so loved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait.
That's it.
Wait, which ones am I reading?
6 through 7.
I read 6 through 8.
But when
Oh yeah, 6 through 8.
But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Oh. Okay. Because
Literally,
the one who
we talked
doubts
about this earlier.
is like a wave of sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person
gonna
should
drink
not
some water
expect to
while he
receive
does
anything
that.
from such a person.
Might have to pass that.
Yeah, so basically it just means that someone's
Did I
calling
give you permission to turn on my phone?
Sorry, mister.
Grandma's calling finally.
It basically just means you can't expect God to like truly answer your prayers, even if it's a way that He wants you to, or even if it's a way He plans it to be answered. If you don't even believe anything's gonna happen, so that's also like when I was talking about my mom. Like I think why she doesn't pray is because she doesn't think she's worthy enough to answer like her prayers to be answered, which she's doubting. She's doubting herself, which unintentionally means she's doubting what God can do. Because I mean, even the most holy and righteous person, they have no like without God there, their prayers still wouldn't be answered. Like they have to, they don't believe, oh, because I'm faithful, or like, because I'm the most holy person, He's gonna answer me. They believe that because God is who God is, He will take care of the prayer, regardless of how bad or good of a person they are. And I mean, like, I don't know if it was Jeffrey Epstein or who it was. One of these terrible people, like before their
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Maybe it was him. I think it was him, because like right before he died.
That freaking mic, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. I paid for it.
Come on, man.
So you're able to break it.
God paid for it.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad. God's money.
God's church, God's plan. No, but like before he was executed, like when he was in jail, he spent that whole time like just getting to actually know God, because I mean, what else is he gonna do? He knows he's gonna die, and I mean, he probably did it out of fear, because knowing he was gonna die, but like he didn't call into the Lord right before he died to be like to give his life to Him. Like he realized he's a terrible person. He believed what God is able to do, and he believed in God's grace so much just from that short amount of time he spent getting to know what God really is while he was waiting to be executed. Like I'm not sure. Like I very well could see him being in heaven, right? Or that's another thing. We don't go to heaven. It's just such a common thing to say. God never says we are going to heaven. We're going to be in a new heaven on earth type of thing. Heaven's meant for like God and His angels, but like it just comes out naturally. But I hope you guys know what I mean when I say.
So it's like the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, basically that's what we're gonna.
Well, because when we had our Bible study, we talked about how there was
the covenant.
No, the 3 layers.
The 3 layers where we're here.
Yeah.
And then there's heaven, and then there's the firmament above.
Firmament. Yeah. No, firmament's in between.
No.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, firmament's in between.
On.
Yeah.
I'll check this real quick.
Yeah, because
I thought each layer was called a firmament.
Yeah, but I'm saying but there was a firmament, whatever it is.
Do you mean
a layer like that thing before?
There was a layer, and then a layer, and then there was another one above, and we argued about this for so long.
Oh, it was you and someone.
But we were saying like. Did we say we thought it was the Garden of Eden, like the very top one or something?
No, because the Garden of Eden was on Earth. Like there's a place where it was. Like it says that a few times in the Bible. We just can't find it. Like there's
Which I don't understand how, because it names two of the rivers that we know very well, Euphrates and
yeah, but like what I truly
Tigris,
believe
right?
is it got covered up. Like it and
yeah,
like even
no, it
not even
definitely
if it
did.
got covered up, I truly like I don't think it got covered up because like how there's the spiritual realm. I truly believe we just are so unworthy. Even the most righteous
That we
person, we're so
can't see
unworthy,
it.
we can't physically see it. Like, not saying it's here in Muncie, Indiana, but like it very well, like we never know, like where, like it could be simply in this room, like this whole building is where it would have been resting, which would have been crazy, but we don't realize that because we aren't worthy to be in a place like that, type of deal.
Well, I mean,
What the duck?
if you look at it geography wise,
Well,
it
yeah,
talks
it's
about,
not here, but
yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. Like we, even if you went to the exact place it says it is, I don't think we're able to. Either it's covered up or we just can't. We're not worthy enough to be able to even
do
walk
you
near
think
a place
maybe
like
it's
that.
so small that we're not able to see it now?
What do you mean small?
Like maybe it's been altered to be super small so nobody could see it and
Firmament
keep
is
it
in between
Very
Earth
could
and
well.
keep it
heaven.
perfect.
That's
Yeah.
what I've come down to.
Yeah, that's we do remember talking about that.
The Sheol.
Oh yeah, but anyways,
Sheol
like Jeffrey
fountains of the
Dahmer, like
deep.
I very well could see him being up in. He could be very well in the new heaven on earth type of thing where we'll be all like every real Christian will be at once we die. Because like he said,
You think
like
he'll
Greg
be
said,
with all real Christians?
like what God or not God, Greg said, you just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're going to heaven.
Oh, yeah,
And I
no.
tell people that all the time. Like
Yeah.
whenever
Yeah,
people are like,
but that man had no belief and killed so many people.
wow, yeah, but that's, I mean, that's just because to us, that's another thing. Just because we think that's worse than someone going and stealing, God doesn't see any of those sins
No,
differently.
that's not what
No,
I'm saying. What
yeah.
I'm saying is, I
Oh,
don't think
what?
that man will be in any sort of heaven on earth.
Because he's not a good person to our eyes. But we don't have the right to tell what his heart was before he died. That's what I'm saying. And
I
like
guess so.
Greg said, the people you don't expect to be in our final resting place are gonna be there.
You
Like
think Hitler will be there?
if he can
You think
best,
I get to meet the man with the most famous mustache?
I mean, if he gave his life to Christ before he had died, then yeah.
Probably.
Like even though he's a terrible person in our eyes, he committed this same equal level of sin that we do on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, yeah.
It's just we as humans think we can tell what we think we have the right to say what is more like what's worse than
Well,
the
that's
other.
because we have laws and judges and
Yeah.
everything.
And that's like, I mean, that's what we think we're worthy enough to say. And
Yeah.
even though like in like when you go to a judge sentence, they're like, put your hand on the Bible and swear you will, like they're trying to say they acknowledge that Christianity is real and that they are holding this like that person accountable based on God.
Yeah.
But it says so many times like we're not judges. We don't have the right to judge people. We can hold each other accountable with the whole when Jesus was talking about before you look at someone else's
Yeah.
eye or point out the speck in someone else's eye, fix the log. He's not saying you can't judge. We have too many things. One, that's fixing yourself before you try to go and fix others' sins. Like you fix your own sin before you fix
Yeah.
others. But it's also saying he was saying that about your brothers and sisters. We're not, even though we are technically brothers and sisters to everyone, even if they don't believe. I genuinely believe he was talking about people of the faith. And so like us judges, yes, it's like as a judge, if that person is a Christian, yes, you can point out their wrongdoings, but you can't sit there. I mean, that's just how it works. Like if you kill someone, that's more of a offense than you going and robbing a liquor store.
Yeah.
But like they're all equal, and that's why I say I can very well see Jeffrey Dahmer being up there. He did a terrible thing in our eyes, but we all do terrible things in God's eyes just by
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
cussing or
yeah.
not cussing, but like simply lying
Hudson,
or
you
stealing.
cussed?
You're going to hell.
You're going to hell. The sinner.
But that's
My
just how I view it, and I
Gotta
know,
repent.
and that's why I hate when I talk about this to people who either don't really believe that much
Or
or
lukewarm.
don't believe at all.
Lukewarm,
Like
man.
they're like, if God's all love, I'm a good person, so I
Oh
truly
my
believe
gosh.
he'll I truly believe
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
up there because I'm a good person.
Oh yeah, that's the lukewarms talking.
And not even like if they
Mhm.
believe in God, like they'll be like, even if they are like
They'll be like, yeah, man, I'll
a
be up
Jew.
there. Have you seen
No,
my
like
track record?
a Jew, seriously, like there's a girl who's Jewish.
You know a Jewish girl?
I know, it was
What's her
crazy.
name?
Brenna. She doesn't work at Lowe's anymore, but she
Mm.
was in the pain department. I'd always talk to her about it because she believes in God, and like because the Korah is all the Old Testament. They just don't acknowledge the New Testament.
So they don't acknowledge Jesus.
They don't. They think he's a
So-
real person just as a prophet.
The
They
thing
don't
with
think
that
he's-
is-
he's a prophet. He's not actually God
So
himself.
my problem with that is you're basing everything off of the Old Testament, but God made New Testaments for a reason.
multiple times in the Old Testament they prophesy that Jesus will come. So that's also why everyone who was around, like all the apostles, literally would tell all these Pharisees, all these Jewish people, it's in the same Bible we read, like the same belief we have. It prophesied that Jesus would come, and that's why so many people were like, just were able to be transformed, is because they realized, hey, once they actually did their own research instead of just being closed-minded, they realized Jesus was prophesied to be here, and he is there, and he died. He was the sacrificial lamb. It mentions multiple times in the Old Testament.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, she was Jewish, and she believes God is real. She doesn't think Jesus is more than a prophet.
Yep.
And I was like, she was telling me, she was like, I mean, I know I'm not perfect, but as long as I try to be a good person, I know I'll be in heaven. And,
Nope.
and it really, I was like, I can't argue with someone who's closed-minded, because I'm just gonna be talking to a wall. But I
Yeah.
was like, I was
You're gonna
like,
change
that's
their
not how it
mind.
works. You don't get to go to heaven
You don't
through
just
your
get
works.
let
Even
in.
if you're a perfect human being, you think we're not perfect. Even if
That's
you
like
think you're a
some
good person.
people that are Jewish that are like, I'm a purebred, so I'm just getting in.
Yeah, like
It's like, no, you're
you don't.
not,
No one
bro.
earns the right. You can be the richest man in the world, the most perfect person in the world.
Be the richest, you can be the most Jewish. That doesn't mean you're getting into heaven.
It's
No.
purely if you believe that Jesus is worthy enough to save us and that he is our Lord and Savior.
Especially if you're not the richest,
Yeah.
for sure. The what is it?
Richest man, it's harder for a rich man
It's
to get
hard for a
into
rich man to get
heaven
into
than a
heaven.
camel
Yeah.
to fit through the eye of a needle.
I'm gonna
Me
read
personally,
this.
I could fit a camel through 3 needles.
I'm
but
gonna read
Oh,
this
yeah.
next verse.
Oh yeah,
I'm,
I forgot you had 2 verses.
I'm gonna
That was
read
only
it.
one, bro. That's
Die.
crazy.
Well,
Snooze
that's
button.
because you told me to keep reading.
Sorry, it was good.
It was worth it.
It was
I'm
really
glad.
good. Psalm 119, 143. Trouble and distress have come upon me, but your commands give me delight.
Oh, that's simple.
Psalm
It's
119.
simple. 119, 143. Dude,
What? I have to look at these
how
things.
I was saying earlier, like
I'll
Psalms
learn
is so long.
visually.
Each
It's
time I
gotta-
open up
it's gotta
Psalms, I'm
bar.
just like, oh my gosh.
Psalm 119.
Because this goes all the way until 176. And that's one of 140 some
119 what?
119, 143.
Whoa, 143. There's 143
There's 150
verses?
Psalms.
Mhm.
There's
143
170
verses?
No, there's 176.
No, 100. Wait, 76 chapters?
No, there's
150.
150 chapters, and in Psalm 119,
There's
there's
150.
176 verses.
That's crazy.
Every time I look at Psalm, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
It's a
Said
bar.
156 or
But
But
46.
Psalm is so beneficial.
It's a bar.
It's a bar.
Bar, I go hard, I drive cars.
Also,
I don't go far.
46.
we might want to wrap this up soon because I gotta go.
Candy bars.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Brady.
you're not going anywhere. What
You're
time
not
is
going
it?
anywhere. 406.
407.
Okay.
You're
I
wrong.
gotta
Brady.
leave at like 4:30. If we're not done by then.
No.
Nope.
Make
You're
me
wrong.
come over there.
What'd you say? 46.
Hey, now he's really farting.
Wow.
He's pushing one out.
Bruh.
I like
Hudson,
how
are you
that
gonna
dude
find this
commented.
Huh? It's 119,
The dude
146,
commented
right?
about my feet. 143, right?
So you wanna know
Frick.
something about that? That was my dad. My
Trouble
real
and
dad.
distress have come upon me.
Wait, was it 143?
But your
143.
command- Yeah. Trouble and distress have come upon me, but your commands give me delight.
I told my dad about the podcast and he was like, yeah, I'll watch it.
How you gonna do Trey's feet like that? It was me. I'm the one who made it. I was like, I saw my feet and I didn't realize how dirty the socks were. And I was like, there's so many different memes I could have put behind it, but
It was so funny.
I was like, I can't
It's
let
funny
my
that
socks.
you brought that up because I was
Yeah.
like, I read that and I was like, gosh darn it, Dad. And then you bring that up and I'm like, oh, yeah, that was my dad.
I think it's funny.
It was funny.
So what do you think about that, Hudson?
Oh, mother hacker! I went all the way back up. You're
That
joking.
Good. Good
I'm
kitty.
about to step out in the hall for a second.
Yeah, you go.
Here, listen to this echo.
No.
No.
Close the door.
I
Dang
didn't
it,
hear an echo.
I was hoping the door would have closed. I was not
There's a
gonna.
lady all the way up there, and I coughed.
Trouble and distress have come
You
upon me,
coughed.
I coughed.
but your
Dude, it was
commands
so
give me
bad.
delight.
Clickbait.
I honestly should have gone to the bathroom and spit out the biggest loogie in the room.
So,
But your commands
Spit
give me
on my
delight.
laptop.
Trouble and distress have come upon me, but your commands give me delight.
I think I should do ASMR and just slurp my water right now.
I'm thinking, bro.
well,
I'm really
I know. I'm
thinking.
trying to.
Your gears are turning.
I'm watching you as like he said, your gears.
So I got the first part, I feel like. We all deal with troubles and distress. But,
The keeping your commands part confuses you.
yeah, the commands part. Because I keep thinking about the Ten Commandments, but that's not it.
I think
Well, that's part of the commands, but
it's more so like what Trey was talking about. Like he felt constricted earlier, and like his chest was constricting on him.
Where, like,
And when
hearing his word just
hearing
opened
his
up
word and the music
chest
made
and
it relax.
yeah. So
I'm not
just
gonna lie, I think we're
hearing
just trying to
him.
come up with stuff at this point.
no, it makes sense to me at least.
No, I mean it makes sense, but I feel like we're dragging it out a little bit.
The podcast? Oh,
Yeah.
if you guys feel that way, we can stop. I didn't
Well,
think
I
it was
mean,
being
we
forced.
didn't come into this with a plan, really.
No. So we're just letting it flow, and I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like it's getting along pretty nicely.
Last chance, your 83% savings ends in 8 hours.
Oh no.
Oh no.
8 hours.
I better accept the risk or stay protected. What a way to advertise.
Yeah.
So, like your story this morning, your car got towed. That was your troubles, your big trouble, and then just hearing him and hearing him speak through the word of today's sermon, and then just listening to the songs really just gave you delight. In other words.
Yeah, you right. You right.
How do you feel about the verse?
How do I feel about my verse?
Yeah, how do you
Your
feel about
verse, your verse. You wrote that bar for
Yeah.
bar.
No, the verse that I brought to the table for you guys. I think it's just like, hold on, let me just
No gas.
recheck
Uh-oh.
again.
Doesn't even remember his own verse that he wrote.
Come on, bro.
Do you remember my verse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hudson does. He has it pulled up.
No.
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 You can't prove it.
No.
Don't you dare.
Nope.
I think it's just reminding us, like, no matter what we're going through, that God's gonna be there. And I think you were overthinking it a little bit when you were trying to think about the commandments. Like, those are good and
Well, whenever I hear
something we should
commands, I just
follow.
think of the commandments.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it's like, yeah, I think you're just trying to overthink it.
I was way overthinking it, bro. That's my common problem.
Also, I don't think I've ever read this area.
in
And
Psalms.
yeah, do you see the, like, QOPH and then the symbol next to it?
Yeah. And then
I wanna
there's
find out what
farther
this
down
is.
it's Resh, and then there's another symbol.
Yeah, I want to find out what this is. I
For
don't know
real?
if you've
Do you
seen
know what
this
that is?
either.
What?
The symbol and then QOPH, and then there's one later on with another symbol called
Resh, and then
Resh.
it's like just a 90-degree corner. I could look it up, see if
I want to find out what these are. Sin and Shin.
Huh?
Sin and Shin is another one.
San and Shin?
Sin and
Oh,
Shin.
Sin and Shin?
And then Taw.
Q.
I'm actually gonna have to
You say
figure these out.
QOPH, meaning in Psalms 119. When I question, you obey. I obey you and place my hope in you, O Lord. Is that just a verse?
I wish I could.
If anyone knows, please let us know. Like, reach out and please let us know, because I have no clue.
Leave a comment in the description. Not in the description, but in the comments.
The greatness and
I don't know,
glory
man.
of God's word.
There's a lot of them too. I'm
Resh,
just
the
scrolling through.
great. I think it's no, I don't know. Because Resh means the same thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to find out on my own time.
For real.
Do you think we start wrapping this up?
Me?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have anything on your mind? It seems like you're just thinking.
um,
Hold on.
I
Let's
mean,
look at a
a
different chapter.
prayer at the end would be cool.
Right.
That'd be nice to start doing at the end.
Yeah.
Or even in the, like, if there's a point anyone feels like they want to pray or need to pray. Prayer is powerful, like it says multiple times throughout the Bible. So,
I think it's just that one chapter.
Huh.
I think it's just
Because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think it's just in that one chapter.
All right. Well, do we want to hit a prayer and then the outro then?
that's fine.
So do we have any prayer requests in the room right now? Also, if you have any prayer requests, please leave them in the comments. Because I will make sure to pray for you, and I'm sure Trey will also.
Yep.
And whoever else wants to out of the group that I'm sure we will have, because we got a lot coming up. We got a few guests, a few people that it's faces you haven't seen that want to be a part of this already.
I'll ask you after.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried now.
Don't worry about it.
Any prayer requests in the room?
My mom isn't feeling the best right now. She's kind of sick, but
Okay.
aside from that, they're really.
So healing.
Stop texting me, people.
Just allow his plan to carry out and to give us peace throughout whatever it is, and not to try to force anything that we want, rather than let us accept what he desires.
That might as well have been a prayer right there.
I know, I sounded like it when I was coming out of my mouth, but I don't know. I don't really know. Allow those, not just the people who didn't make it, or to today's podcast, but just not just my
Whoever's
close relatives,
listening.
but anyone who's listening, any people that are close to us. Just pray that their spirit lights up for Jesus, and that they just really crave to seek a better and a deeper relationship with him.
Yeah, for sure. So how do we want to do this? Do we want one person to pray? Do we want to popcorn it? Like, do we want everybody to do a little bit of something?
Hudson?
I don't care.
Are you fine with
Hudson,
praying?
didn't you say you wanted to pray?
Dude, we used to do that to him.
Dude,
in,
it was
in small group all the time. It would be Gray, Quinn, Ken, and Russ.
earlier.
There would be questions, and we'd be like, "Hey, Hudson, you remember talking about this earlier? You gave like a really good answer."
Yeah.
And then he'd be on the spot, and everybody'd be like, "Yeah, let's hear it." And he'd be like, Poor Hudson. We bullied him, but it pushed you to be a better Christian man.
I had to think about stuff on the spot, quickly.
Oh yeah, but we made you a better Christian.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
All right. Well, I still don't know how we want to do this, but we can do it however. Trey's praying.
No, I'm just waiting for you.
I'm waiting for me.
Oh.
This is on me.
Yep.
You're gonna pray today. Well, we can switch around each time, but
I'll start it. Do you want to end it?
sure.
And Hudson, if you feel like doing it anymore.
Will do.
All right.
As soon as he starts, he's gonna interrupt him. Anyways, my turn.
So, dear Lord, I pray that you would just be with Hudson's mom right now. I've been told that she's not feeling great. So I pray that you would just put your healing arms around her and that you would heal her from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. Pray that you would just be with anyone that's viewing the video or anybody that leaves a comment, that you would just be there with them and let your presence be known with them no matter where they are, whether they're watching on their phone in a public place or watching at home in the environment that they thrive in. I pray that you would just be with people that have unspoken prayer requests, whether with us or whether watching. And I pray for Ava because I know she's going through a rough time right now too, and that's just a friend of mine. So
I pray that you continue to not only just be with us, but that you just continue to let us realize that you are our best friend, and that we can be open and vulnerable with you no matter if we don't have other people in our life that we can be that way with. I truly I know we don't deserve to ask for anything, and I just want to give you thanks just for constantly being with us, constantly taking care of unseen dangers and guiding us in a way that will lead us to the best possible version of ourselves. Thank you just for all the unknown blessings that we just take for granted and all the blessings that just we accept and we realize we don't, no matter thanks, no matter praise will ever just be suffice for how amazing you are, um, just how gifted and blessed we are, and you truly are an amazing God. I just ask that you just continue to be with us and to give us wisdom, and not only just to give us wisdom, but to apply it when we need this wisdom, and that you just continue to guide us in a way that we can follow your plan for us, so that way we can be good and holy and just righteous disciples that you want us to be, and that you just you answer any unasked questions in in regards to just guiding us down your plan. Yeah, just thank you for everything that you do for us. We don't deserve you. We don't deserve the sacrifice you made, but we're forever grateful, and will forever give you praise for it. And yeah, thank you just once again for bringing these people the idea, the vision to make this podcast possible. And I ask that, regardless of what it brings, that you are just in the center of all of it, and that regardless of how many people end up ever seeing any of these videos, that the person who needs to see it, allow them to be brought upon this podcast. And yeah, that's and if there's no other prayers that need to be said that you haven't already started working on, I want to wrap up and say that's in Jesus' mighty name that all this will happen. Amen.
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 What prayer?
For real.
Look at you knowing how to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where's your hat at? Do you even believe in God?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I just realized I didn't expect to pray on mic. Hello? Okay. Wait, which one is mine? Is this
Not a one.
Okay, so maybe it did pick me up. Can you hear me?
It picked up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Alright.
If not, it picked up through my mic, I think. But it's all good.
It doesn't matter if they heard it.
Nope.
God heard it.
I heard it. We heard it.
We heard it.
We're witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want to go ahead and say thank you for all the support on the first video. It actually turned out a lot better than we anticipated. I know I posted a lot about it. I kind of pushed it a little bit, but I mean, if you guys stuck around, then I appreciate it. Hopefully, somebody that needed to hear anything from this one, even though it was pretty sporadic, all over the place. Hopefully, you got something out of this. Hopefully, we see some prayer requests in the comments. Anything else you want to add on?
Just thank you, Hudson, for taking time out of your day.
Thank you for taking almost 2 hours out of your time.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Glad.
Adding value to this podcast,
For
adding
sure.
your opinion to this podcast, and being vulnerable with us.
I think that's one of the things that we're really pushing for is people being able to feel vulnerable and being vulnerable here. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
I appreciate it,
Anytime.
and I
No.
think this is where we're gonna wrap it up. So, the weight of His glory. Come back next week. Video should be coming out on
Wednesday. So
now that we have it figured out.
Yeah. So I guess they're seeing this Wednesday. So
Yeah.
yeah, tune back in. Look for another video next Wednesday. I'm not sure what date that is, but
Look for a video Wednesday, and just know that we're making a video 4 days later.
yeah. Alrighty.
All right.
Well, peace out, guys.
See ya.
Adios.